healer. Welcome to your July Pathology reading. I am Princess India. If you are new and if you are family, welcome back, my friend. So, if you don't know what Pathology is, or if you should be watching this video, or how the whole thing works, check the description box below before you watch. I mean, you're still going to get something out of it anyway. But if you want to know which tribe you're in and what path you're on, you're going to want to do the little math that they have in the description box below, and then watch the video that is for you. But other than that, so we're going to get into the themes for you guys this month. The themes that came up for my wounded healers is what I like to call life mice, right? And life mice are the sneaky little things that kind of nibble away at us over time, our inner saboteurs to our progress and whatnot. And the other thing that I noticed a lot when I was meditating on you guys' energy, it's healing disconnect within. So any parts or facets of you that are kind of feeling off kilter, or if you find yourself feeling, happy one day and the next, or, the next you're like sad and, or, feeling competing ideologies within yourself. The way that we're going to heal that is through choice. Sounds crazy, right? That's how we're healing inner imbalances if you're a wounded healer. So anywho, the other thing I noticed was that the themes I was picking up on for you guys, they were very reminiscent of the Demi-god reading and the guru reading. So you may want to watch both of those, especially if you are a Gemini, and more specifically if you're a Gemini rising. You would want to watch that because it almost seems to me that just the main themes for you guys, the main themes for those two, it's almost as if all three of you would help each other out, right? It's like each one of you has a piece to the puzzle, so to speak. But anywho, so specific energy signatures that I picked up on are avoidance, disassociating, self-harm, passive aggression, escapism, not taking accountability, people-pleasing, obsessive negative thinking are all behavior themes that I was picking up on. But if we were to put all of these in like a huge big clump, it all falls under the umbrella of escapism, right? So it's me feeling the same thing that I was kind of feeling with gurus. Is just like, what are you running away from? Is like the feeling. And then I keep hearing Hoobastank, why are you running away? Yeah. I need to put that in the playlist. But that keeps coming up, right? But the interesting thing is, so this is kind of what's going on energetically within, right? So now when we start bringing that outside of us, how that's kind of manifesting is through habits, things that are done habitually. So these patterns, right? And I feel like it's something that's more or less like second nature. So it's kind of like, in my terms, it would be, because habits can be positive, but it would be unhealthy coping skills. So it's kind of like a lot of these behaviors, they're unhealthy coping skills for something going on inside that we're not dealing with, that's very intricately related to an inner dissension, right? So overall, what we're really talking about is getting everything within on one accord. And that's like that, disassociation and putting that onto one path. And us doing that through choices. So it's more or less what's in you is coming out through your actions. And the whole lesson this month is going to be how we can turn that around for your greater good. Some other things that came up that I feel would be of service to you guys is questions you want to ask yourself this month, like things you want to reflect on. If you ever find yourself thinking or saying things like, who am I without you, right? To a person, what would I ever do if something happened to you, right? Or, I don't have this person. What am I supposed to do now? Or, I don't have this job or this thing. What am I supposed to do now? If you ever find yourself having thoughts like that, the thing you want to follow up with that is this thing a crutch? Is it a vice, right? Who or what are you clinging to? Because that's a sign of clinging, And who or what is the thing that you're terrified to lose? The reason why these are so extremely important is because these are all things that may be eclipsed out with the eclipse that's coming on the 2nd. Of course, this 4-year high is good, but the way that all the readings have gone so far is the themes that are coming up in my meditation are things that are prepping you for things you may be hopefully comfortably surrendering, you know, for the eclipse. And not having to have pride out of your cold death grip. You know what I'm saying? But it's more or less like repurposing and reinventing oneself, because another positive thing that I feel for you guys overall, a lot of this is preparation for new beginnings, and it's a new approach to life. So the new moon and the eclipse and even Mercury retrograde are going to be offering you guys energy on kind of shining light on how your habits are holding you back, and also on different energy suckers in your life. And the main thing that we're looking at as far as like energy suckers, it's things that you put a lot of time, energy, and effort to that either aren't reciprocal, right? Or they're things that just stress you out, you know, or it's situations that are just emotionally upsetting. So how I'm feeling it overall, and I'm gonna get to you guys' point to ponder and then jump into your cards. But the main thing that I'm feeling overall, it's almost like, I don't know how to describe that. What I'm seeing. There we go. It's like the frog that you put in the pot and the water. Like if you put a frog in, because, you know, with them being cold-blooded, you put a frog in a pot of cold water and you turn the heat up. Because they're adapting to their environment, right, and their inner temperature is matching what's outside of them, they will literally sit there and boil to death, right? Because with it being a slow increase in temperature, it's like they're not noticing that this is a danger, right? And now Spirit is telling me something else in relation to that. So that's kind of the thing that I'm seeing overall for you guys. It's almost like these habits, they're not healthy. And I'm saying habits because this would be like the external thing that the energy that I'm seeing is manifesting as. But it's like how it's showing up is either, for some of you guys, is literally a person in your life that's like a narcissist. And it's either like a parent or someone you're in a relationship with. And it's like putting up with the dysfunction for so long that the dysfunction has become functional. And it's almost like this shakeup that's coming as a wake-up call that's saying like, yo, okay, this is not normal, right? Because I feel as it stands now, you guys may be frustrated because you're not progressing or not understanding why you're feeling so up and down, but it's because it's not seeing how you have fused with the environment around you and it not being healthy, right? And it's more or less running away from the inner truth. So the habit is like a sign that something is wrong. So it's more or less about us going within and identifying that, right? So your point to ponder. There is a great but often overlooked superpower in the possession of every man and woman. That power lies in the present moment, and the tool to exert this power is your ability to choose. In this present moment, what you are thinking are the beginnings of what will manifest into your future experiences. You always have a choice. It is your power, your birthright. How are you using your superpower? Are you its servant, or is it in service to you? And remember, habits become addictions when they grow up. That was the theme of the Demi-god reading. So in your extended reading, and I'm saying that, not saying that your reading is over, but I'm just saying what we're going to cover in the extended. Because I just felt that was like, oh, that's it? No. In your extended reading, I'm going to be sharing solutions and interventions to what comes up in your cards, as well as expounding on the different channelings that I got for you guys overall with the different things that are going on this month. And it's pretty much going to be helping you, helping to assist you regain control over those little hidden mice in your life, and then offering you guys more healthy coping skills in reference to different habits that you guys are having, especially with those behavior themes. And then seeing what else comes up in your cards, my love. So we're going to ask Spirit to give us clear, indirect guidance for why do I want to keep seeing Gemini? That's so odd. But anyway, there might be a lot of Geminis watching this. And y'all sign actually did come up in the Demi-god reading. But anyway, for my wounded healers, anything that needs to know anything of utmost importance, Spirit, I ask that comes to the forefront in this here reading. And what's not to or whatever. As always, I thank you in advance, Spirit, because I know you're good for it. And after we go into your cards, we're doing the dice of resonance, and I need you guys' help in naming my new dice. I call them the Oracle dice, and that's not a cool name. So if you could comment below with a name for the dice, you know I'd love you forever. You know what I'm saying? All right, so overall situation. We have the High Priestess listening to your intuition. This is the thing. It's self-denial, but it's self-denial of your truth, and your truth being your intuition. Because, and it feels like I'm repeating myself, but legit, dude, I'm not even joking. And it may be helpful for you guys to watch the Seer reading as well, because whenever major arcanas are coming up, that may be helpful for you guys. But anywho, how I'm seeing this is, it almost feels like a scavenger hunt that you guys are going to be on in July. I kid you not. It's like... And it could be this reading that's that first igniting factor. Because it's almost like me seeing a person who's on autopilot. And it's like there's signs and symptoms in your life and in your behavior. And the main symptom is your inner world, right? It's like inside of you, it's being very, I don't want to go as far as to say depressed, but it could be. But it's just very unhappy with life. And it's like looking around and not really seeing anything wrong and not really understanding what's happening. And it's almost like this month you guys are going to be following a trail of breadcrumbs to lead you back into yourself. Because it's like, because if it's an addiction or whatever it is, whatever like the habit is that brings you, it's like a self-soothing technique. Whatever you guys are doing, it's a need to think about the fact of, if I, eat to self-soothe, like eat too much, if I, smoke weed, if I drink wine, if I, work out too much, you know what I'm saying? If I spend too much money shopping, it's like, if I need to do that to self-soothe, or that's a self-soothing technique that is unhealthy, why would you need to self-soothe? You feel what I'm saying? And I hope that makes sense. It's like if you have to do something to make you feel better, that means that at present, before you do this habit, that you're not feeling good. So the thing that you're doing to feel better is letting you know that you don't feel good. And that sounds so simple, but how I'm seeing it is almost like it's a person who hasn't made that connection. And that happens to us a lot because we have to be awakened to that. It's like we're not thinking about the fact I do this because I'm stressed. And I do it because I'm stressed. But I'm not thinking about the fact of like, oh, I'm stressed. Like, let me try to figure out why it is that I'm stressed in the first place, right? So it's not just about coming up with a solution. It's the fact that the real problem is the feeling that you're feeling that's uncomfortable, right? And it's like intuitively, there's been signs of this, but I feel like it's just you guys haven't quite made the connection just yet. But that's what's going to be happening this month. And a lot of the information that you guys get is going to be coming to you in an intuitive fashion, right? So the biggest emotional challenge to overcome this month is for you to take initiative, personal responsibility. That's one of the things that came up. Is more or less instead of waiting for the environment to change, people to change, for circumstances to change, it's you taking the initiative to change things, right? And that's reinforcing this whole thing with choice, right? It's you don't have to wait for your external environment to be different because you always have a choice over your inner world. So in a sense, it's like giving you your power back, right? And reminding you guys that you have access to infinite knowledge, spirit being the great mind, all consciousness, all knowing, all seeing, all being. And it's like remembering that facet of yourself and allowing that to give you the answers that you're seeking. Because it's a lot of looking outside of you for the solutions. But the key is that you're in possession of your solution, meaning that you are the answer, right? Whoa. So it's more or less putting you guys in the driver's seat, you know? Oh. And then we have the Lovers. This is exactly it, man. That is the energy. This is you guys' energy showing up. And Gemini energy showing up. But that's literally what it is, man. With the Lovers, it's not about love per se in this particular instance. It's like love in the facet of being an action word in the sense of acceptance. Like love being acceptance, but it's acceptance of self. It's acceptance of one's two opposing factors, right? It's like the integration of the light and the dark, your mind and your heart, right? And allowing the two to coexist in a balanced sense. So it's pretty much, this is saying for you guys, this is the work that you're going to be doing this month. And everything that came out in my meditation is just giving you tangible, what's the word I'm looking for? Tangible patterns and rhythms to the inner work that you guys are going to be doing. And I think the reason why Spirit is doing it like that is because to explain this, because how I'm seeing it, it's like the only thing that's external with what you guys are dealing with is how what's going on within is manifesting without. But a lot of the work that you guys are going to be doing is energy work, right? So it's literally like transmuting your inner energy so that you can shift how you're showing up in life and thus shift your environment from an inner place, right? But of course, that sounds like, I mean, unless you're like an energy master up in here, you know, some of y'all are out there, right? But it's like, to a person who's just starting this path, it would sound hella convoluted. It's like, how the hell do I do that, right? But it's like, I'm seeing how, even though this is like heavy in a like a metaphysical sense, it's more or less like how I've told you guys how rituals and stuff work. It's like, it's not about the tools, you know, that you work your gifts through. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm not any more or any less clairvoyant, whether or not I use tarot cards or not. It's just more or less like a point to focus your energy. Or if you're doing like rituals, it's the fact that like with a crystal, and it's like, you know, if I'm working on my third eye, it's like I'm holding this amethyst and I'm like third eye, third eye, third eye, third eye. It has nothing to do with the amethyst. You know what I'm saying? It's its own frequency within itself that attunes to my third eye, but I don't really need the amethyst. Once I know the energy signature, like the frequency of this in the spiritual realm, I don't really need this anymore. And then I can just attune to that frequency in my meditation, right? But I feel this is coaching you guys how to do that. But it's like a duality. It's showing you how to identify when we're off kilter within through the things that we kind of get caught up into in an external sense. And it's showing you how to go within and how to make those changes in those shifts first through like a tangible kind of way. So I'm eating unhealthy. Now I'm going to start eating healthy. If I see that my coping mechanisms are unhealthy, I'm going to look for healthy coping mechanisms. And it's more or less doing shifts and changes like that. And that's creating an inner state, right? But ultimately, once you master that, you guys won't need the stuff. It's your inner vibration that is going to lead you to things that you're doing externally. So it's almost kind of reversing how you guys have been showing up. And I hope and pray that that's making sense. But all in all, the whole point of it is integrating within yourself. And if we even put it like in brain terms, is more or less like building a bridge between the right side and the left side of your brain, and you being able to walk back and forth across this bridge as much as you want, right? And not feeling like you have to stay on one particular side. So in essence, it's a balance of your masculine and feminine energies. I hope that's making sense, y'all. I really hope that that's making sense. And that's in essence going to be the major soul lesson for you guys this month. And then it's like, I feel that has a lot to do, like, Three of Cups. What you guys are being prepared for, and I felt this for almost everybody, to be quite honest. But it's like you guys are being prepared for a new beginning, but the new beginning is almost like it's purging out everything that is stopping you from stepping into what your soul's mission is or what your soul purpose is, right? So it's almost like needing to clean house in a sense, because I feel all of the stuff that's coming up for my healers, it's like this is all the stuff that's overshadowing your gifts. It's all the stuff that's overshadowing your joys, right? And even seeing that, like seeing the Three of Cups, like what we're talking about here is, it reminds me of the story, the golden Buddha within. It's like your light is being overshadowed by all of these unhealthy coping mechanisms and gunk and like, you know, low vibe energy from people or unhealthy connections. It's like what you're here to do is like, or your light is being dimmed would be a better way to say it. It's like your light is being dimmed by what it is that you've experienced. And it's like you're being woken up by spirit to see that that has happened, right? Because it's like with the story, the golden Buddha, that's exactly what happened. It's a golden Buddha statue that they covered with a whole bunch of mud. And it wasn't until generations after that they realized that it wasn't a concrete statue. You know what I'm saying? But it's symbolic of like the gold or the gifts that exist inside of you. And seeing the Three of Cups here, this whole process in July is to crack open all of that and to remind you of the beauty that exists inside of it so that you can share it with others, or just the process within itself, being able to share that with other people. I hope that's making sense, y'all. Ha! That's what I'm talking about. Good old Death card. That's the potential for this month, man. It is a complete metamorphosis. And that's an energy for a lot of signs, and for you guys it's coming through really, really heavy. But it's almost, and that's how it was with the gurus too. It's almost like you guys co-creating with spirit consciously to take off the old man. You know what I'm saying? It's like the false self. It's getting a glimpse of the truth of who it is that you are. And then once you get a glimpse of that, that's what's going to be like the power or the drive that comes in to do this work, to peel off layer after layer. And it's like I'm almost feeling it like frantically. It's like coming into the realization of like, this is how life could be for me. Like, this is what is ordained for me. And it's like, it's wanting to just rip everything off, getting rid of stuff, throwing away clothes. It may even get to the point where you guys may want to completely do a makeover, cut your hair. You know what I'm saying? Like, completely transform everything. But the thing that I want to stress is that this isn't going to be just superficial. It's like everything you feel led to do externally, everything that you desire to be different, you're also doing that energy work within. And that's probably where, if you guys are having like a strong desire to just like, you know, cut your hair off or just do, you know, something totally different, it's because it's like your inner self is trying to be birthed out, like the truth of who you are. It's realizing you aren't your experiences, right? And it's like being able to transmute the experiences gained throughout your life and no longer seeing them as labels or stamps or experiences that made you feel less than. It's seeing almost like your, how does that quote go? Like your wounds are your wisdom. You know what I'm saying? So it's like battle scars in so many words, but it's like those aren't gonna have dominion and power over you anymore. It's like your battle scars are gonna become like a badge of honor in a sense. It's gonna be like, yes, I did go through that. I did experience that. And I'm thankful for everything that I experienced, because I wouldn't be who I am today had it not been for that, right? But right now, it's just kind of feeling like the byproduct of a lot of other people's really shitty choices, right? And feeling like you're forced to live with it. But all of that is about to change, like in the most epic and most major way. And I don't know why I feel like I want to get another card on two of these cards. Sorry. It's my nosiness a little bit. But it's like a rebirth, man. It's a rebirth. And then you guys may also want to watch the goddess reading too. But I feel it is like, it's a, yeah, y'all gonna be watching a bunch of these. But I feel it like a rebirth, but I'm seeing it like a birth, right? It's almost like me seeing you guys impregnated, right? but you're impregnated with yourself and you're giving birth to yourself, right? Because for many, many years you have been nurturing yourself, but now it's like you're in the third trimester. You know what I'm saying? And you might be getting a little bit of Braxton Hicks. Now it's time for you to go into labor. You know what I'm saying? So it's contractions. All of the things that you guys feel this month that are uncomfortable, always keep in mind that it's just contractions, and something very beautiful is going to be birthed out of you at the end of this, right? Because I think that's the shake-up energy that everyone is going to be experiencing with this whole eclipse and retrograde. So it's more or less to remember that. It's like, it's just contractions. It's not my life falling apart. It's just contractions, right? Yeah, man. And see, this is the why. Because the thing that I wanted to look at was like in a tangible sense, like the state you guys are in right now is the Journey in the reverse, the Door to Romance in reverse, and the Temple Path in reverse. So this is why all of this is happening. As you guys stand going into July, these are all of the things that are off kilter. One, you're not on your right path, right? It's like, and I'm not saying that in the sense of like, oh my God, my entire life is a lie. No, I'm talking about this in the spiritual sense. You're not on the right path, meaning like these two, right? The temple path, your inner journey. It's like your heart space is closed off, meaning you're not living your truth. Not that you're in the wrong job or married the wrong person. Don't mean anything like that, right? So it's more or less, it's not being able to allow love into yourself or see yourself as love or have that manifest in your life. That's the reason why all of this is happening. So it's more or less all of this is happening to get you guys on the right path, meaning the journey within, right? To be able to unlock your heart so that you can commune with spirit at any time and get your intel so you know the paths to go. I also feel heavily that a lot of you have been asking questions about love relationships, right? And for some of you, this may be a person that's kind of falling out, but they would be falling out to get you in alignment with your truth so the right person could come in. But that's the point of it all. Whatever it is that you guys are desperately wanting to manifest in your life or have been for some time, it requires you to be the right person to magnetize the right life to you, right? So how I feel this is who you guys have, you know, morphed into because of negative experiences. I totally feel like I'm repeating myself. Who you guys have morphed into because of less than stellar experiences, right? Has put you into a place to where you cut yourself off from yourself. So all in all, this is all about reunion with yourself, right? Reunion with your truth. That person's dreams, that person's desires, right? It's almost like a little bit of shadow work going on here. I hope that makes sense, y'all, because I feel like I'm just talking. But anywho, oh, goodness gracious. Mars? Take action? I'm going to throw out the dice of resonance. If you were to ask a yes or no question, go ahead and do that now, my friend. Pause me if you need to. But I don't interpret these, just toss them out. However they resonate, they resonate. So we have Cancer. We have coworker boss. We have Libra. The answer to your question is yes. And we have Venus. So Cancer, Libra, Venus, coworker boss, and the answer to your question is yes. And I'm just writing down these signs because they may be relevant. You guys could be Cancers or you guys could be Libras. And or we could have Taurus too, since we got Venus, because that's Taurus and Libra. But I write those down because I put that at the bottom of the description box. So you guys are seeing in the description box what I'm doing right now. So now we're going to throw out the oracle dice that you guys are going to help me name, right? Y'all are going to comment it below because you love me. All right, we have the number 3, yeah. Whoa, and Gemini. What is going on, man? Legit, y'all definitely have to watch that goddess reading, for real, for real. I think there's going to be a lot of fresh manna in the sky for you guys. And I think that's Pluto. Yeah, that is Pluto. Interesting. So let's see here. Let's start with Pluto. It's always good when you get Pluto. All right. So this is very much true. This is confirmation. So whenever Pluto, Neptune, or Uranus comes up with my oracle die, that means that you're on a path to cultivate your golden aura, ascend to Christ consciousness, and encounter the true meaning of unconditional love, which is agape love, right? So that's like God being synonymous with love, right? And it says you're being challenged to become more than human. It's a call for change and growth in your consciousness. Your motivations are shifting from personal to spiritual. The pilot of your soul's evolutionary drive or desire is attracting outer events and situations into your life that reflect the inner needs. These provide the stepping stones for your spiritual growth. That makes so much more sense than what I feel like I was trying to get out of my mouth. That makes sense. So anywho, going on to specifically with Pluto is, it talks about, so the challenge, of course, is becoming more than human. Commitment to the alchemical path of self-transformation. Purging oneself of the ego-based desires, unhealthy attachments, and awareness of one's motives that block this transformation. Oh my gosh, that is so dope. That is exactly what I said, but just a lot more clear than how I said it. So anyway, number 3. The archetype that would be good for you guys to meditate on this month is the Empress, which I feel like is perfect since I was talking about the whole birth thing. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's like birthing your abundance. You feel me? Your spirituality gives you strength, expansion. The creator, preserver, and change agent. Creative inspiration. Nurture the life of your dream. Transform, allow, and then birth it into this life. That is exactly what I said. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So yeah, y'all, and then you could just be a Gemini person, or a Gemini could be of some relevance to you. But looking at, and I love the fact with these readings, that's why I'm so glad the Spirit led me to do this, dude. Because there's so much synchronicity in these readings. It's creepy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at the fact that 3 comes out, 2 3s here, right? Then we have the number 6 with the Lovers card. And everything that I'm talking about is exactly what the Lovers card symbolizes, which is the same thing that is in alignment with you guys' archetype, right? It's all the same vibration. So like every single facet of this is you, right? And then even seeing like why I think the Goddess reading would be so helpful to you guys is because you look at 3. 3 is doubled in 6. You know what I'm saying? So I think literally any of the readings that came prior to this would be of utmost help to you. But it seems almost like all of those readings prior to yours, it's giving you the masculine insight and the feminine insight. You know what I'm saying? So anywho, I'm going to go over to you guys extended. If you're about that life, follow me over. If not, I love your freaking face. And I will see you guys sooner than later.